Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 16 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. As I mentioned, I did want to get 2 episodes up today because I missed out on one on Monday, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have not seen the last episode of Road to Ranked, which went up earlier today, check that out. I'll link that in the description below. Anyway, like I said, I'll be using Enosh's team just for a little bit more as I gather a new team in-game, so just have to wait for that. Thank you to Enosh once again for allowing me to use the team, and it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully I can get a new team in game pretty soon. We're going to find Karen VGC from France with a rating of 1769 to kick off this episode. And as always, if you enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, this is not gonna be fun because Karam here is using the Big 6 combination of Groudon, Talonflame, Kangaskhan, Xerneas, Salamence, and Smeargle. I really don't like playing against Big 6. We saw in the last episode that I had some trouble against a Big 6 user, or not a Big 6 user. He had a Kangaskhan, Xerneas, and Groudon, and then Sableye. That combination is just difficult to deal with because normally my answer against Xerneas is Ferrothorn, but Talonflame, Kangaskhan, and Groudon can all hit Ferrothorn for very good damage, if not one-hit KO it. So that's always troublesome. Let's see what to lead with. If you go Xerneas, Smeargle, no. The question is always, like, do I bring Crest? Because if I bring Crest and Groudon, then, I can maybe bring one of Kangaskhan or Rayquaza. I think I'm honestly going to go Kangaskhan Weavile here. Maybe not bring Rayquaza. Go Groudon Ferrothorn. That feels a little bit weird, but I'm not sure how good Rayquaza is in this matchup anyway. Like, if Xerneas goes for Geomancy, and that's going to be the setup it wants to set up, then it still gets knocked out despite having Assault Vest, and, that just renders it kind of useless. Since Kangaskhan, I think, is still pretty good here, and I definitely want to Mega Evolve that. So, going to lead with Kang and Weavile here. He's going to lead with Kangaskhan and Groudon, which is a little bit scary because he could be your inner focus Kangaskhan. So if it is inner focus here, that gives my opponents some plays. What's the play? If he's inner focus, I mean, you could choose to fake out my Kangaskhan, although I'm not sure if that's the best play. Could see a low kick coming out of Kangaskhan or a power up punch. One play I can make is fake out and double edge. So double edge with Kangaskhan, fake out into Kangaskhan. So it's like, okay, if you are in air focus, actually maybe that is what I'm gonna do. But then you could get a eruption off. Do you protect your Groudon here? You probably don't, right? But actually, you might want to do it so you don't get the fake out chip damage. So I'm actually gonna double up into Kangaskhan here. Oh, it's switching out though. Into Talonflame? Is Groudon protecting? If it protects, this ends up being a very nice turn. If it goes for an eruption, I'm boned. Okay, he protects. Well, that's not bad then. I do eliminate Talonflame from the field. And now my Kangaskhan is guaranteed to be faster than his for one turn, as he has not Mega Evolved yet. So that's nice. It also prevents him from setting up Tailwind at any point in the game now, which means at worst my Groudon speed ties with him, and at best I outspeed and can one-hit KO him. We'll probably see Kangaskhan come back in here though, yep. Not much of a surprise there. Don't have any great switch-ins still. Could protect Kangaskhan. So I want to prioritize knocking out Groudon, because if I can knock out Groudon, then his last one, which will be Xerneas, Kangaskhan obviously still threatens me with the low kick, but at least it gives me a better answer against Xerneas. So here, you could fake out Eruption. You probably want to fake out the Kangaskhan. So I think I'm actually going to protect here. Even if he's smart and doubles up on Weavile, that's fine. And I'll Icicle Crash. The idea here is like, if you double up, if you have to fake out Weavile here, otherwise I just get a free Esco Crash off. And even if you do double up on Weavile, I get the free switch into my Groudon. Unless you have sub on the Groudon. He is gonna fake out Weavile, so good play there. Are we gonna see an Eruption? Yeah. So that's fine. Now I bring in my Groudon. And I do wish I kind of double edged there, though. But I'll bring in Groudon, yeah. And still don't know whether he's Power Up Punch or Low Kick. That's the other thing that's bothering me. He might want to protect Groudon here. So I could go for a ballsy read, switch out into Ferrothorn and Eruption. Although I'm not really that fond of that. Let's double edge Kang and Earth Power here. Okay, he doesn't protect. That could be really good if I get the knockout here with Earth Power. Double edge does a ton of damage. They also win a speed tie, potentially between the Kangaskhan's. He does have Low Kick. So let's see, does my Groudon outspeed? Okay, gets the Earth Power off. Can I pick up the knockout? If I do, I think I can win this one. Nice. I potentially won 2 speed ties there. And if that's the case, I did get very fortunate. The Kangaskhan getting the attack off there was also a very big deal. It's obviously not over yet, but I mean, looking in a pretty good position with Groudon Xerneas, or Groudon and Ferrothorn against King Xerneas. Unless he's got HP Fire. If that's the case, this could be bad. Could also crit me. So the question is, do I want to protect Ferrothorn right now? Because he could read into that. Yeah, even if he crits, he doesn't knock me out though. So I'll just Gyro Ball Eruption here. Yep, he is going to Low Kick. Comes close, but that should have knocked me out. Now Eruption should be single target as well. Yeah. So there was a crit chance there, but I don't know. I was afraid my opponent had like HP Ground, and then if you like double edge HP Ground Groudon and I protect, then you actually just win the game with the Low Kick play. He actually does Moonblast here. Oh, that might knock me out actually. Though, although Eruption might pick up the knockout. I mean, now I'm definitely going to win, but even if that picked up the knockout, I think Eruption, given that it's single target, would have done... Yeah, it actually just would have won me the game there. So, it ended up being fine. Great play by my opponent there to double up into Ferrothorn. Maybe his only play. Hoping that Eruption, wouldn't pick up the knockout. So, do pick up a win there, although it doesn't exactly feel that great because I felt like it probably came down to Kangaskhan Groudon speed ties there, since Big 6 typically runs max speed Kangaskhan and Groudon, and that easily could have gone the other way if he won either speed tie, honestly. So, I'm assuming he's max speed on both. Like, Groudons typically run max speed, although not always the case, especially on the bulkier variants. When like utilized Cresselia, but that team obviously didn't have Cress. Fun fact, Paul Chua actually won Mass Regionals with a Admin Kangaskhan instead of a Jolly, I believe. Maybe it was Groudon. We find Politoed from the US, but I don't think that's Paul Chua. Though it's kind of funny that this guy comes up as we talk about Paul Chua, and he's got a Regigigas. I'm really hoping that comes out. Kyogre, Regigigas, Amoonguss, Manectric, Talonflame, and Mewtwo. That's a very cool team. Please bring Reggie, or Manectric, or Mewtwo. I mean, those are all awesome Pokemon. Shout out to my opponent for having a very, very interesting team. Should be a fun game. Regigigas has actually seen a little bit of competitive play. It's one of Wolfie Glick's favorite Pokemon. And Wolfie and I, we used to play a lot back in the day. We still do, but back in the day, we actually practiced and prepared for tournaments together. And he brought Regigigas to regionals in 2012. And we had like a really, really fun casual game the night before regionals, one of the regionals. And it was like a Thunderwave Confuse race set, I believe. And it was just a lot of fun shenanigans. But, yeah, let's see what to bring here. So, Ferrothorn would normally be really good, but Manectric and Mewtwo are both Pokemon that could carry Fire-type Pokemon. I still might bring Ferrothorn, though, since it shuts down Kyogre. Weavile's not a bad lead here. Definitely not a bad option. And I will have Weather Control here. That's a big deal. Weavile... Do I want to bring Rayquaza? That's the other question. I'm leaning towards no. Let's go Weavile, Kang, Pharaoh, Groudon. Feels so weird, right? 2 games in a... no, I should have brought Rayquaza, because it allows me to make some more plays with Groudon. But we'll see. Like, Kangaskhan's just such a good Mega, obviously, and then when you bring both Kang and Rayquaza, it's just hard to get the firepower of both. But I'm really looking forward to this game. My opponent's team, really cool. I don't honestly know what to entirely expect. We see Mewtwo and Manectric here as a lead, which I would say is in my favor here. I think Mewtwo's base 130 though, and its pressure does go off before mine. Yeah, I don't really remember my Mewtwo speed tiers, but some interesting plays right from the start. Could go right away for the feint onto Mewtwo and the Double Edge. And I'm actually going to go kind of hard on this read here. Manectric here most likely going to be the Mega Evolution, so it's going to want to Mega Evolve. But here, you know, you obviously are scared of the Fake Outs, so I'm going to try to capitalize off that. He might read into it, and that could actually be really bad if we see a Volt Switch and a Side Strike onto Kangaskhan. Like, that could just ruin me. But we do see Manectric is going to be the Mega. Obviously Mewtwo could be as well, but not going to be the case. So it is going to get an Intimidate off. Not sure if Mewtwo can still survive the feint and the Double Edge. Maybe I should have played safer. We'll see what he goes for here. I would expect a Protect, maybe a Volt Switch Protect play. This is still risky. I'm not sure if I really like my play here. He doesn't Protect with either. Wow. He does just Side Strike. And Volt Switch. Will that knock me out? Oh, I actually hang on. That's nice. So I do get a Double Edge off. Might pick up the knockout, but obviously I could have just double faked out there or faked out Double Edged. So really good read on my opponent's end there. He's going to bring in a Moongus. Yeah, I should have brought Rayquaza, I think. Holy cow, that Mewtwo's bulky. I don't know why I expected Double Edge to knock out. That just wasn't a good play. This is bad, actually. Yeah, if I had Rayquaza, I could threaten with Dragon Ascent, but that's not the case. Gosh. Yeah, I should have brought in Rayquaza, because then I would be able to bring in Groudon and switch out into Rayquaza. I messed up. That was a really good turn 1 play, too. Risky, but good on my opponent's end. I realized afterwards, like, yeah, I don't think the risk versus reward was that great there. And I was expecting Double Edge to pick up the knockout, obviously not the case. If Mewtwo doesn't have a Psychic attack, I mean a Fire type attack, that'd be really good, but I suspect it will. Still bringing Ferrothorn here. I win the game if I can knock out Mewtwo and Kyogre. So the question here is, like, do you Protect with your Mewtwo? Or do you try to gunk me with a Fire type attack? I'm going to Ice Cold Crash the Mewtwo slot and Protect Ferrothorn. Oh, Mewtwo actually switches out, also a good play. Oh, I'm getting red left and right. This is not good. Because I'm going to take a Spore onto Manectric as well. I think I've actually lost this game already. This Manectric and Mewtwo puts on so much pressure against my team, because Weavile relies on being faster, but it doesn't get the speed advantage here, really. So I get an Ice Cold Crash off, but I'm at -2, and the Moongus is going to get a Spore off, which is really bad. Oh, but I crit the Manectric. Well, that could help me, but it actually doesn't still pick up the knockout. So even with that crit, I'm not sure if that can really save me in this game. He probably has a Fire type attack on Manectric. So if you're my opponent, you like Overheat and Spore, maybe? I don't think I have an out here. Wow, he pinned me really darn well. I'll always try to burn a sleep turn. Maybe I have to switch out into Groudon here. Right, I mean, Ferrothorn's my win condition, especially if Mewtwo doesn't have a Fire type attack. It literally could solo Kyogre and Kyogre and Mewtwo. Moongus switches out. If it's Kyogre coming in, that'd be really good. Yeah, that actually gives me the speed advantage here. That also indicates to me Manectric doesn't have a Fire type attack, or it's not going for it this turn. But this is a big deal here. Gives me a very good opportunity to come back into this match because that start was pretty dismal. Because Eruption is so good here. Although we'll probably see a Volt Switch, maybe a Snarl, or a Thunderbolt, or a Thunder. All possible plays. So let's see. I do get my Groudon out, and I avoid being asleep here, though, which is a big deal. So maybe he doesn't have a Fire-type attack. That would be really good for me. Of course, I'd still have to be able to take care of the Amoonguss, because that's comes down to timer games. So Weavile burns the turn to sleep. Could also be an important deal. He does just Volt Switch. Okay, so no Fire-type attack, maybe. Does a lot of damage, though, and we're probably going to see Mewtwo come in. Amoonguss coming in. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Unless he Sash Amoonguss, which could be very bad. Here you probably want to protect your Amoonguss and sacrifice something coming in. So switch into Mewtwo or Manectric. That's what I would do. So what's my out there? Switching into Ferrothorn at least gives me some options. Because then I could threaten Kyogre, so I'll Eruption here. Eliminating Amoonguss would be kind of helpful. And I can't afford to lose either of my Pokemon right now because I need to win the Weather War. Or at least give myself that possibility. Ferrothorn's coming in. Huh. Oh, it's going to be Sash Amoonguss, isn't it? Okay. HP Fire Kyogre? No. Huh. I mean, Ice Beam as a Groudon's obviously still really good. Side Strike might actually knock me out, so still not the worst, but I'm kind of surprised about that turn. I mean, I feel like my opponent has had the upper hand. I mean, maybe he's setting himself up for a play that I guess, yeah, now you put on pressure with Mewtwo, but I'm just surprised he let me go get another turn of Weather Control here. But maybe he was expecting the Ferrothorn read in, so he's like, oh, it's probably not worth it. So Manectric's gonna come in here. Okay. I don't know if you can really touch my Groudon, though. Kinda wanna just fake out Eruption here. Like, we saw Groudon outsped Kyogre. I don't know if it's a speed tie there. He's smart enough to protect Manectric, though. Good play. It's going to be tricky because I don't know whether he has a Fire-type attack or not. If he doesn't, then I'm in a really good position to just win this game with Ferrothorn at this point. I can Thunderbolt Kyogre next turn, too, although I don't think that'll knock out. Yeah, probably won't. It's going to Ice Beam again. This is so tricky. Do I expect a Fire-type attack? That Protect on Manectric was obvious. I should have read that. I'm gonna switch out into Weavile. Earth Power. He's not switching out, but we could see a Volt Switch. Or maybe a Snarl. Maybe he can just knock out Groudon here. He does have a Fire-type attack, so we do confirm that. So that ends up being the right play. He actually misses it, which is a little bit unfortunate, especially if I managed to wake up. But if he has a Fire-type attack on Ferrothorn or on Mewtwo as well, then it's still, not game. And he can Ice Beam spam as well. So I get a little bit lucky with that dodge. We'll see if it matters, because if I wake up with Weavile, then that actually will make a difference. If not, then shouldn't make a difference here. What a game, though. Very well played by my opponent. I feel like giving up Amoonguss is kind of questionable. Like, if you can get Weather Control and get Kyogre, that'd be really good. Although I suppose since you have Manectric, you don't want the Rain up, so that would make sense. I'm gonna try to fake out Mewtwo. Yeah, it's still over if he has a Fire-type attack. Do I Power Whip or Gyro Ball here? I'll Power Whip. I do stay asleep though. Does he have Flamethrower? He doesn't. He has Ice Beam. How much does that do? Not very much. He's going for Scald. Is he going for a bird? Yeah, he is. Doesn't get it. And Power Whip connects. Wow. Really didn't think I'd be able to win this one, quite honestly. This Kyogre goes down. Did get lucky he didn't get the burn, but given that he was going for that play and Ferrothorn had leftovers, could have been able to equal one out there. But seeing the Scald, like maybe Gyro Ball would have been better. Now I can just knock off, and I'll Gyro Ball. And then my opponent's going to forfeit. Yeah, so I don't think the overheat miss mattered that much. You know, he saved that really well. Like, I was so tempted to stay in because he didn't reveal it at all. But on that kind of team, like, you kind of need overheat because otherwise you just have no way to touch Ferrothorn. I thought, like, maybe his Mewtwo would have had a Fire-type attack as well, but evidently not. But that was a really, really intense game. One in which that first turn just went pretty poorly for me, and then I was a little bit frustrated because the Protect on Manectric was kind of easy to read as well later in the end, and I still didn't confirm whether I had overheat or not, so did not play really as well as I really could have, but still managed to eke out a win. I feel like there was just a lot of momentum swing when I got the Eruption off there with the Groudon and just knocked out a Moongus, because then that set up my Ferrothorn to potentially win the match, and then being able to knock out the Manectric and letting Ferrothorn come in the late game was a big deal as well. So yeah, managed to recover from that last episode, do pick up 2 wins in today's episode, which is pretty nice. Like I said, we'll be using Inasha's team just for a little bit more until I get my new team in game, and then we'll switch to a new team. But it's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, peace.